Test, 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 test. Y'all can hear me now? Oh, y'all can hear me now. Okay. There we go. We good. All right. Test, test, test. Attempting to reconnect. Oh, this is dirty. They're really messing with my internet, y'all, and my sound and everything. They're saying they got to reconnect now. Good morning, everybody. It's so super dirty that is making it like they can't hear me. It's tearing my sound up. Got me buffering and all this bull. It's just dirty. Just dirty. But I wanted to let you guys know. Amazing news. Kandiss Taylor dropped her affidavits in Georgia. She actually gave it to the governor in front of everybody so nobody could even believe that she didn't really do what she did. Now, why is this important? People are saying, well, what if they're going to do nothing? What if they're going to just ignore her? What if they're just going to play a game with her, right? What if nothing will ever happen? What if we're just going to have her put something in and they're going to ignore it? Well, guys, I'm going to let y'all know. They're not ignoring stuff, and the affidavits work. Notice the first affidavit she put in was about maladministration. Now, what I'm going to let you guys know is that, and I'm getting my workout in, getting my Josh Barnett in real quick, burning some sugar. What I'm letting you guys know is that it's not about if these people answer or don't answer. Why? Because we put together the affidavits purposely where the people cannot answer. So it is impossible to answer one of the affidavits. It is Jesus' questions. So what Jesus did was Jesus would ask a question, and what he would do is he would know that you could not answer the question either way. The reason you can't answer the question either way is because if you answer it wrong the first way, you'll answer it wrong, or you don't answer, is because you fear God. If you don't answer the other way, is because you fear the people. So what you're doing is technically giving the people the ability to see how dirty the government officials actually are, because they can't be real either way. And at the same time, what it does is it shows the people their power. That's what Jesus was good at. Jesus showed the people when they try to give you a plan A and a plan B, you could always choose C. Right? You're like, dude, I don't like either one of yours. I'm doing C, right? So this is how it works. If it's buffering, go in, go out and come back in. So here's how it works, guys. So when you hit people with a Jesus type argument, it causes great sadness to them. It causes stress. It makes them do stupid things. Sometimes they're angry and they just want to kill the messenger, right? They wanted to kill Jesus. They want to kill me, right? So what we did was, it's simple. What we did was we took what it was that the government was doing wrong, and we showed them how, through an affidavit of maladministration, that if they continued down the road that they were going, that it would be considered maladministration, right? So everybody's so concerned about, well, is this going to get us the audit right away? The purpose of the affidavit is not to get the audit right away. The purpose of the affidavit is to let them see that you know that they have a duty to give you the audit. And in the process, they have a duty to take care of the people's business. Now, what happened when Josh put in an affidavit of maladministration and treason to everybody? Well, the legislature started realizing, holy crap, this is our job, and our behinds are on the line if it don't get done. Nice. The Board of Supervisors started realizing, this is our job. If we let the truth get out, we go to prison for life. If we don't let the truth go out, we could go to prison for life. This is a bad situation. So what started happening? See, when you understand the law and how it works, you realize that when you trap people in the perfect corner, they have no choice but to either submit to what you say and shut the freak up, or commit more crimes to cover up the crimes they already committed. Notice that an affidavit of maladministration or affidavit of treason, right? None of this is to prove fraud. I never said in any one of my documents, and we never say in any one of our documents, that we're trying to prove fraud. Now, here's where the guys mess up. A lot of guys laugh at me. They get with attorneys and they don't want to hear what I have to say, and that's fine. Choose who you want to choose, right? I'm nothing. But what happens is people start getting online and having a discussion about fraud. How the freak you gonna have a discussion about something you don't know about? You don't know if they committed fraud. You don't know if they cheated. You hope that you could prove they cheated. Somebody gave you some information that says that somebody may have cheated. Somebody may have given you some documents or some stuff on video that you can look at and say, well, we know that these people cheated because we can see it on video. Still, you don't freaking know if they're lying. You can't prove it, and then you're going to court trying to prove something that you can't prove exists. You have no physical evidence that you could use. So why the freak are you trying to argue over something that you cannot prove? That's dumb. What about we argue over something that we can prove? Like we have power over the government, and if your anus don't show us what we want, you're breaking the law. What about that? We can prove, right? We can prove every day of the week that the people have all political power. It says it in the Constitution and they swore to it. People also know that we can prove simply. We can prove that the people have the right to remove bad government if they're committing maladministration. So why the freak are we trying to prove fraud? Can somebody help me out here? You don't have it in your hand. You're trying to go to court to ask a court to give you the ability to check for fraud because you're saying it's fraud. Come on, y'all. Hold on one second. So maybe it's cracky a little bit because my levels are too high. Let me turn it down some. Okay, can y'all hear me now? Why are you trying to give discovery of something you cannot prove? See, I can't see it buffering. Y'all got to let me know. But think about this, guys. If you are trying to say that somebody committed a crime, right? Then you should come with evidence of a crime. Right? If somebody punched me in the face, I'm going to say, look, here's the bruise. Here's the affidavit saying they punched me in the face. I think it's the court. Hold on one second, guys. Everybody who got a crackle, leave out and come back in. All right? We'll see if there's a popping static. If not, just leave and come back later. All right, so here we go. So guys, we don't try to prove that somebody's wrong without proof that they're wrong. So why not stand on our standing where we say, look, we have a right as the people to do an audit, to know what's going on. We have, in New Hampshire yesterday, Section 8 of the New Hampshire Bill of Rights says the people have a right to know. You can't just be hiding stuff from them because you want to. That's simple. I don't need to prove fraud for that. Number 10 says I have a right of revolution if the government is getting stupid. Okay, everybody who's saying worse, please don't interrupt me with that again. Like, if it's not working, you can just get off or come back later. But I have to talk to the people about what's going on. So it is what it is. We gonna have to do whatever we have to do, or we're gonna have to ignore it, or if it's too hard for you to pay attention when we're discussing some really important stuff, please just go somewhere else for now. And then you can come back later and deal with the issues that you're having over this stuff. Like, really, this junk is getting stupid. And if I have any people on who are my freaking how squeaky something sounds, or if it sounds like freaking a crackling noise, like, guys, we ain't got time for that. So anyway, what we got to understand, guys, is that when you're dealing with a situation like what happened in Georgia and what happened with Josh, Josh said you're committing maladministration and treason if you don't give us an audit or if anything happens to these ballots, right? Somebody block Larry Barnes, please. Because I'm not going to keep going over this same stupid junk. So anyway, guys, what you got to understand is that Josh Barnett, he dropped in an affidavit saying, look, if you don't put in a request for an audit and get this done, you're trampling my rights. If you let the ballots get destroyed or something bad happen, you're trampling my rights. So therefore, we have the right to remove you for maladministration. And if you attack the people's rights, it's treason, period. Now, thank you guys. Now, what ends up happening? What ends up happening is when these people, somebody get James McDaniels too. Oh, okay. I would really like if you guys don't do it again because I'm getting everybody. I don't care that much, right? I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to save the nation. So if you keep interfering, we gonna get you. Now, notice, guys, that what we got to understand is that when it comes to using the affidavit, right, all we're doing is putting them on notice they can't do wrong. And they realize they did wrong. So they start scrambling themselves trying to fix the wrong because they know it's coming that you're going to call them out in the wrong. They know it's no way to stop it. See, you can't answer either way. So because you can't answer either way, you get to a situation where you get into trouble. And you get into trouble because you know that there's a danger for treason if you cheated. So you start getting sloppy. So when Josh hit them with an affidavit, we started noticing ballots being thrown in the trash. The legislature started realizing they had to do the audit, right? So what ends up happening is that they get into a bad situation where they're stuck between a rock and a hard place, and they start doing crimes to try to get rid of what was going on. Now, Tania makes an excellent point. So Kandiss hit them with affidavits, right? Kandiss doesn't have 3,000 subscribers yet, but yet her video from yesterday serving one day ago, the Georgia governor, has 22,000 views. God is in the work, guys. He's showing everybody what's happening. Now, they are so messed up, guys. They are so messed up, guys, that they are falling into a situation where they are trying to hide the evidence. So when Josh did his, they saw that the thing was coming. 14 days before they turned over the machines, they tried to wipe out the adjudication files. Now, me and Josh already had affidavits from early November where we proved that people put ballots in the machine, had people hit a green button, which kicked it, and it kicked back out. They had to hit a green button and put it back in. Those were adjudicated files. That's where Arizona gets to tell the Maricopa County was able to tell who voted for who based on them. Now, what happens is it gets crazy because after you show the proof that we have affidavits of people's occurrences, we don't care if you say it happened or not. We don't care if you want to fight. We don't care if they're upset. Nothing matters after that. And we don't have to prove anything, right? So let's go deeper. So Kandiss hit them with affidavits. Now it was found and it was reported in the newspaper. I think it was the Pundit. I forgot what that paper is called. Somebody just posted it. But what ends up happening is that bar members got together and were talking about how they're going to get an audit just like Arizona. So now it's only been a couple of days, right? And people say, well, it's been 2 weeks since Kandiss put hers in. Why didn't they do anything yet? Yes, they are doing stuff. First thing they did is some of the legislature had a meeting already. I'm not supposed to know that, but I know that. Next thing we know is that bar attorneys came together and said, yes, 100% they're going to get an audit, right? Somebody please quiet Vinnie Mac, please, or block the person. Next. So anyway, I'm going to ask you guys one more time. Stop talking about the microphone or leave. We don't have time for that. Anyway, guys, so what ends up happening next is that we find that the legislature, got together and talked. The bar members got together and said, oh, yeah, they're going to get an audit just like Maricopa County. They even mentioned Josh Barnett. Now, next step, what happens after that? Now we find that overnight, somebody broke, the alarm went off in the voting center, the place where the ballots were, and the door was left wide open. Woo! Guys, God is tearing this thing down. And people who don't understand affidavits and the process don't understand what exactly we're doing. We're setting up the government officials to either do what we say or not. Either way, we don't care. They can ignore us and get jacked up, or they can follow us and do what's right, and the people can have mercy. And if they got jacked up, they got jacked up. If they didn't, they did. It's no big deal. But you're not going to ignore us. That's what you're not going to do. So, guys, the alarm went off yesterday, just like, you know, when Epstein was getting caught and he was singing like a canary and people knew he was telling about what the other officials were doing, how they were RAPING kids and stuff like that. What ended up happening is that what ends up happening is that the government officials realize that we know what they're doing. And now they realize, oh shucks, they're on to us just like they were on Arizona. They threw the ballots in the trash in Arizona. We got video of the guy who worked in the Maricopa County Center taking some yellow bags and throwing a yellow bag and throwing it into the dumpster from a government vehicle. So we know that the guy worked there, right? Now, at the same time, with Kandiss, she drops fire on them, and now there's an Epstein-style breach of security. We already told y'all it was maladministration. Notice that the affidavits we put in say nothing about proving fraud. We don't have to prove anything with fraud. But if you lose our ballots, you're trampling the people's rights, and it's a direct trespass. If you don't do an audit, it's a direct trespass against the people. So guys, you got to understand that they could go to prison with no fraud. It doesn't take for us to prove fraud for them to go to prison. It only takes for us to show that we told them what to do, instructed them, and they ignored the people in their oath. We told them don't lose our ballots, and they lost it. Come on now. So, see guys, you can freaking, if somebody's talking stupid, toss them. Right? And if I need to add some more, y'all, let me see if I can add a couple of people as, let me see. If I can add some admins right now. Ooh, they lucky. If I can't add admins, they're lucky. So, guys, so why would they allow the ballots to be able to get taken? Now, it's funny, people talk about the process over at in Arizona. They say, oh, it's not secure enough. It's not this, it's not that. But y'all losing ballots in Georgia? Y'all got the door just flying open? I mean, what the freak? What's going on? You know? So guys, why are they doing this? Why are they in a situation, guys, where they're slipping so bad that they're getting into a point where they're being sloppy? See, when you hit them with affidavits, I think what happened was it took them a little bit of time to understand what we did to them. So they gotta, when they get documents, you gotta realize that they get stuff sent to them, right? They got to get some attorneys to say, what does this mean? Now, the low-level attorneys are going to say, it looks like they're trying to trap you in something. So then they're going to say, well, go get us some old attorneys who know a little bit about the law, and let's find out what's up with this and how far they're going. Then the older attorney comes back and say, oh, they're trapping you, dude, and they're about to get the evidence, and they're basing their whole argument not on anything about fraud, but throwing your anus in prison or removing you because you're not following the people. And they can always come back down the road at any time and throw your anus in prison like the Nuremberg trials. Yeah. Start getting real serious, right? So, how about the board of supervisors? I'm not worried about the board of supervisors and anything they do right now. We're already in a position where we can fight and destroy what the government is doing. So to me, I don't care what the board of supervisors is doing. We got ballots in our possession. We got people who are looking at the ballots right now. There's really no point in being concerned or worried about anything else because we already have ballots we're looking at. We already got evidence of different things. We have missing ballots. So if they didn't prove another thing, they can prove that the people in government didn't do what they were supposed to do. So To me, I don't care about, I'm not worried about all these other things. Like, everybody gets so caught up on every single little thing. Well, they didn't do what we said. They didn't do this, right? They wouldn't give us the machine. They wouldn't talk with us. They wouldn't come to our meeting. They wouldn't hang with us. I don't give a freak about all that. All I tell you guys, stop trying to trap people in fraud like you know something, right? You're trying to give a narrative like there was fraud in the election. Why say that? Why? It's no point. You don't have to prove fraud in anything. You don't have to prove stuff. Just be one of the people and use your right to make them do what you want them to do. Let them prove. Proving is a really bad situation when you're one of the people, you own the business, and you got to prove to your employee that it's worthwhile for you to check the bank accounts. That's dumb. You got to tell your employee, employee, please say it's fraud before I can go check and see if there was fraud. That's dumb. Be the freaking boss. Tell them to go check. Tell them to go check. That's what you do. Hire somebody to go check. You don't have to beg people to check what belongs to you. Stop letting people make you prove stuff that you don't have to prove. What about, I'm coming here, I'm proving I'm the freaking boss. I'm one of the people. I rule stuff. Now what? Now I'm proving you better get up and go freaking check what I tell you to, because I'm the owner of the business. You're a freaking servant. What about that? Prove that. Stop freaking trying to make them tell you what they're doing wrong. Stop trying to make them give you permission to do something. I don't give a freak. I don't give a freak about proving nothing to nobody. Right? What does the freaking contract say? It says you do what we tell you to do. You're a servant. That's what the freak it says. So people can get online and make arguments all day. We can prove it's fraud in this state. We can prove it's fraud in that state. Okay, show it to us. Where'd you get it from? How do you know for sure? Will you swear to it? No, I'm just telling y'all online. Or you want to get emotional and argue with people online. Oh, I know that there's something wrong. Good that you know there's something wrong. Now get the freaking audit. Tell them to do what they're supposed to do and make consequences. The affidavit is to make a consequence if they don't listen to the people. They read in the affidavit that we can be removed if we ignore you. So guess what's going to happen if you get removed? If you get removed, your anus might go to prison for life, because the people already removed you because you were a jerk. And now they're going to investigate you, and you don't have friends in government no more because all y'all got removed. Be smart. Stop trying to prove everything to everybody. Stand on the freaking law and the rights God gave you. You created the freaking government, and you're trying to prove something you can't. Why? Why? So, notice, y'all, when it happens that they get caught, when it happens that they get caught and they realize nobody's making an argument, right? Nobody is making an argument about what is wrong. Nobody is making an argument about trying to prove something that they don't have to prove. They simply are making a discussion open up about where the people got the right to do what it is that they do. And what happens really quickly is they don't have a right to do what they do, right? So what happens is when they find out that they don't have a right to do what they're doing, and they find out they only have a duty to do what you're telling them to do, right? Then what ends up happening is that they're forced now to fix the error. And that's what we want. We want people to be forced to fix errors. We don't want to have to prove ourselves. So when we force them to fix the errors, that way they're proving their own fraud. If they don't do what we tell them to do, they're proving that they're committing fraud. They prove that they're taking money under false pretenses. They prove that they're not listening to the people. They prove that they are hurting the people. They prove that they are not doing their job. So then why in the world would we spend our time begging people to tell us what's wrong or what they did wrong. Why would we spend our time letting people fail to protect the ballots? Listen, I'm telling you to do an audit. If your anus don't do the audit, you're showing that you're going directly against the will of the people. Now, if you do the audit slowly, you're proving that you're going against the will of the people. If you try to hide evidence and set stuff on fire and burn stuff, you're proving that you're not protecting the stuff that belongs to the people. It doesn't matter either way they go, they're going to lose. This is what the nation needs to see. It's not about proving fraud. It's about put them in a situation where they have to do right, and anything they do wrong, they'll be bound. That easy. That easy. We ain't got to do all this crazy and hard stuff. We ain't got to beg nobody to help us. We ain't got to beg nobody to come free us. All we have to do is show the law, show the truth, and let them do what they do. And what are they doing right now? They're seeing Kandiss coming, and they're allowing the ballots to have the dang door open and the alarm going off, and the door is wide open when you get there. Guys, it's game over. They are so messed up that they don't know what to do. They are so afraid that they're making mistakes. They're panicking like always. They did the same exact thing when Josh hit them, right? Y'all should be wondering, why is it that the only audit that's happening this way in America is happening in Maricopa? The only businesses that got open en masse around the nation was from people who lived in Maricopa. The kids that came back home through CPS, a great majority of them came back from people who live in Maricopa County. You can say it ain't Maricopa County if you want to. You can bring on 1 million attorneys and let the attorneys tell you why they think that something is happening. But we keep saying over and over again, wherever the right steps go and the people's power goes, start being some problems, don't it? Have y'all noticed that? I mean, they lost ballots, 2020 ballots in the trash in freaking Arizona. And now the door open and alarm going off in Georgia. Happenstance? Kawinky dink? Hey, I can only do so much in New Hampshire. Y'all got a good team in New Hampshire. I think y'all got about 3-4 news guys on shows. Y'all got like 3 attorneys in 2 days. Y'all should be killing it there. I mean, y'all got everything that people need. I think if y'all do what what's that group over in Maricopa County? Hold on, y'all. I messed up my cord. Test, test, test. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Oh, I think I see what it might have been too. It was perfect. Yes, y'all hear me now. Sound is fixed? Okay, I think I know what it was then. Y'all so good. I think it was my light. Maybe my light is interfering. Can y'all hear me now? Good now? Sound is perfect. Y'all gonna make the haters leave now. Bad mic wire. No, I think my light was over the other wire. So guys, think about this. So Josh Barnett hit them with notice. Then after Josh Barnett hit them with notice, you'll find that they started losing ballets. Stuff was found in the trash. Apologies? I might block somebody. Look, guys, understand. Sometimes you got to learn to be a little gutter, right? You got to learn how to be nitty gritty, get your freaking hands dirty, work on a turbo car, get oil all in your fingers and your nails, right? You can't make everything be pretty, y'all. Like, y'all got too used to freaking, McDonald's have it your way. If the sound ain't totally perfect, you can't hear a message. Guys, they trying to steal your nation, force stuff in your kids' arms that's killing people. So guys, you got to understand, you can't be sitting here wanting everything to be so pretty and beautiful all the time. And you got to hear stuff the way you got to hear it. Sometimes you got to hear somebody who's a chocolate Negro from the ghetto who don't speak perfectly well, got some grammar issues, but will tell you the freaking truth and show you where the freaking truth is. You got to stop freaking trying to make everything so pretty. Y'all want a pretty attorney to come with the right clothes on, speaking the right way. Oh, he said a big word. He must be sharp. He must be super smart. So we gonna listen to him. Guys, y'all can get 100 smart attorneys and they can't defeat Arizona. We got 73 attorneys here right now from Perkins Coie, and they can't stop the audit that happened from the people. You better understand, you better stop freaking trusting these people because they're cute, they dress nice, they're wearing a freaking suit. I purposely don't dress up when I talk to y'all. I purposely do it because I want you to get out of your psychology that somebody got to be pretty, cute, dress a certain way to give you truth. If you can't accept the truth for what it freaking is, you gonna freaking lose. And that's why we've been losing for a long time. No, these are 10 pounds. Getting some shoulder work in. I'm trying to burn a little bit of sugar. That's all. So guys, that's the thing. You know, Josh Barnett put stuff in. And when Josh Barnett put stuff in, fire happened. They start freaking out. We know some more stuff about what happened. That's connected to other stuff and fires. But we can't really talk about it because we can't prove it all the way. Like, we have people who gave testimony, but they're kind of cowardly. And they'll freaking give up our nation for their freedom and their kids. So, you know, I can't talk all the way about it, but, you know, there's people who gave testimony about stuff happening with fires and stuff and ballots. But I'm just telling y'all, when these people get messed up is when we hit them with notice and affidavits and we know the law better than them and they cheated. Because they have to go back and fix the cheating. Me and Josh was laughing. We were like, ha ha ha, cracking up after we write affidavits. And they were like, bro, if the numbers are off after the fact and they did get rid of ballets, they're in trouble. Bro, if they don't, right? If they don't, and the numbers are right, then what's going to happen is that they're going to have paper that's going to be off. Right? If they ignore us and try not to do AUDIT, the people going to know and we going to get them. And then if they do the AUDIT and they walk slow, the people going to know and we going to get them. Everywhere you go, there is no way to run. There's no way to run. There's no way to hide. I can't sing at all. Y'all going to get mad about that sound. They're going to be like, man, David Jose was on the song, the video yesterday. That dude can rap, man. But when he just starts singing, uh-oh. Right? So, guys, I'm telling y'all, look. We know how to trap people, right? We know how to trap them. So what happens is, guys, you got to realize we got the audit already in Arizona. Georgia is talking about the audit, right? So people can, oh, somebody coming to the webinar. Oh, if you come into the webinar at 3 Eastern Standard Time, you are getting ready to get some fire because I'm going to drop some stuff people ain't never heard before. With Georg1A, and we're going to show you how to take the nation back all over. We're going to show you exactly how we did it, how we're doing it. We're going to show you from the Bible why they're running. We're going to show you from the common law through the state constitutions how we trapped them and how they're in trouble and how they're breaking the law. And we might even show y'all a little bit of fire where we're going to show them tell you how they created a system outside of government. So did the sound leave again? Now, guys, understand this. So they got 70-something attorneys to come to Maricopa County to stop the people who are just regular old people. Josh is a gym owner. I'm a freaking, it will be filmed, but I don't think he's going to put it out publicly. He never puts it out publicly. Guys, you got to understand that these people sent 73 attorneys to stop a gym owner, a Liz Harris, a Dave Jose. 73 attorneys. And then we get online. Oh, thank you, Bobby Village. You can't stand the static. I'm so happy you're leaving. Thank you so much. Can you block me on your way out, though, if that's what you're doing? Please block me. That'd be awesome. So hopefully we know you're going to be about your words. You ain't going to come back, right? So anyway, guys, you got to understand, they sent 73 attorneys. Then we got guys in the middle of the movement who think that the more attorneys they get, the better it's going to be. There's very few people, guys, in the country who's going to be able to use the law and stand against what we're saying. Why? Because we ain't proven fraud. They be like, Dave, prove you didn't go to the store yesterday. What? What about you prove where in the Constitution it says you can make me prove if I went to the freaking store? Where do we give you that authority? I'm not trying to prove nothing. I'm not trying to prove a dang thing. I just want to get some of that smoke. The webinar is at 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 12 o'clock Arizona time in Arizona. I'm sorry. Online is Arizona time is 12 o'clock. And it will be with Jonah Bey at jonahbey.com. JONAHBEY.com is where you can get your tickets. Anybody who joins the webinar today, and this is through Jonah Bey, he created the whole thing. It's his platform. I didn't make it up. He just opened the door for me to be able to speak and show stuff to his people. Yes, jonahbey.com. JONAHBEY.com. Now, guys, if you come on there and you're somebody who's fighting in the medical freedom situation, you don't want your kids to get SHOTS, I'm going to allow anybody who comes to get free 1-year access to our medical freedom group, PMA group. And I got some more fire for y'all too that y'all gonna get. So anybody who wants to come get blessed with some fire, I can't always teach everything to everybody. And some people call and they get mad. They're like, Dave, you are supposed to be here for us and you're not doing what we need you to do right now. We want you, Dave, right here talking to us about what we want you to talk about. And it is what it is. It's jonahbey.com, JONAHBEY.com. PMA is a private membership association. When me and Josh Barnett opened up the 100 plus gyms around the country and different entities, restaurants, stuff like that, martial arts studios, we opened up the doors for people to be wide open. We sent the government notice and let them know that we're not partaking in their bull crap. And we fought the government all around the country. Now, we had major success. We've had district attorneys where we go after them with affidavits and they drop their cases. People will say, well, they might laugh you out of court if you come with that. Well, we really came with it in real freaking life, and there's hundreds of people around the country who can tell you what we've done. I don't care what you think, right? So, guys, realize that the same attorneys. Now, we got a couple of really, very good attorneys, Matt DePerno. We got Sean McMillan, who fought CPS in California. I'm just going to start getting hard now. Right? We got we got Lynn Wood, we got Sidney Powell, we got Giuliani, right? But they all have learned their own way. So what we got to do is realize that, oh yeah, $1,000 an hour, yeah, $500 an hour, they get some dough. Yeah, it's $200 for the class. You also, you're going to be in there and we're going to be teaching, dropping freaking nasty fire to help people learn how to have remedy in all areas. And the webinar is to teach people how to save the nation. We're going to take it all back. Now, you guys are seeing some of the stuff I could do because I can only tell you so much at a time. And what happens is that I don't give all the answers to everything I do out in the open because you can't trust everybody. Some people really don't want to learn. They would never think about this knowledge. They just want it because they have their own personal reasons. They want to do something for themselves. They don't care about everybody else. So then what will happen is we're going to find that, let me see. We're going to find that the government officials will work with some dirty people, right? Let me see. Let me see if this works. Yeah, a lot of people going to go to jail over this junk they did to us. Sorry, I'm doing the one finger special type because I'm trying to hold up my weights. Okay, here it is. And here's the thing, guys. A lot of people laugh. Oh, yeah, we're going to get them airlines, too. We're going to put them on notice, too. A lot of people laugh, y'all, because they want to... That was the old one, Ivan. The old one we did with people who in his crew that wanted to hear about CPS. I'll be doing this one today. I don't have any more planned seminars that I know about. Unless Jonah tells me he wants to do something else. I never even did webinars until he brought me to this. I wasn't even focusing on it. But guys, what you got to understand is that, hold on real quick. Let me get 3 more in. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Burn it up. Feel the fire. All right. So what we got to understand, guys, is that 70-something attorneys could not stop us in Arizona. So we get people in line who think that the more attorneys that they put together, I will, Jess, I'm gonna try to get it picked up and get it, start wearing it. When we get to the point, guys, where we think that the more attorneys that we get, the better off we're going to do, it's hilarious to me, you know, because when one of us goes and deals with a case, right? If an attorney is going to do a deposition and see if you're lying or not, they'll swear you in under oath. But when I watch people on videos and people are talking and they're just saying stuff, you really, you really get into a rough situation because nobody's swearing that anything is true. And the people aren't noticing that. And it really kind of, it drives me crazy because, well, not really because I don't give a freak that much, but it makes me feel a little funny about things because the people are trying to figure out how to be free. And we keep doing stuff halfway. But if we got prosecuted, right, they would make sure that they get us sworn in. If they're going to give us a deposition, they make sure we're sworn in. We understand that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what they say if they're not sworn in. Doesn't matter. Now, they could possibly get in trouble for some libel or slander or something like that. But really, let's just be serious, guys. Why would you let government officials talk without making sure that they're telling the truth about what they're saying or they could be bound by it? Now, you can just have a conversation or whatever, but for many years, we've had people just have conversations and we lose. We lose. People just talking and we lose our whole life. We lose our freedoms. We can't go outside. It's about to be 4th of July again, and some people are going to be locked down in their states. People can't go visit their elderly. And during this whole time, the attorneys know to help each other keep the businesses closed. They are not coming together to find solutions. Everybody will test David Jose's solution. But the question is, how many attorneys can you find that are providing a solution for the businesses, even though they're business attorneys? How many people do you know as attorneys who's finding massive solutions? Yep, we are going to deal with the Bar Association. All the people are. But you got to understand, guys, how many people in the bar have come together to destroy the wickedness that the bar is doing with kids? What about the kids on the border? How many have come with solutions and actually making the people do something? They will quickly check to see if your stuff works. But as attorneys, they're not doing anything already. It doesn't make sense, guys, to keep getting more and more attorneys to tell us how to fix something that the attorneys are not trying to fix. So, yeah, it's cute to wear a suit. It's cute to look good. It's cute to seem smart. It's cute to have a degree. I have a degree. I don't talk about it. But it's very cute when you can say all these things. But really, how long is it going to be before the people start looking and saying, they're really not trying to help us? Come on. When, guys, when are we going to see the people who are doing the judging showing us multiple bits of remedy? When are we going to see it? When are we going to see it? See, we got people who keep bragging about this person is brilliant, this person is smart, this person is this. We don't think David's way can work. We don't think this. Why are we always thinking? Who's doing? Who's doing? Right? Everybody, this is just the system. How many attorneys have you guys heard say, this is just what we have to deal with it? What if I said that? Would 88 kids have come back? would me and Josh Barnett be working together to knock out all these mandates that they were forcing on the businesses? Would it be happening? We got hundreds of people who affect thousands of people functioning and working now. No attorneys involved. We had attorneys involved in Arizona with certain entities that gave attorneys hundreds of thousands of dollars. No recourse. And then we come in and get involved and they're open and free and happy now. They don't have to shut down their multi-million-dollar business and lose millions of investment. This is real freaking life. But where are all the attorneys that are doing this? I'm not an attorney. I'm just a Negro from the ghetto with ashy elbows, right? That can't grow hair no more. Right? We got a lot of people trying to spend their time judging what else works. But they ain't telling you what works. See, they'll get you to stop believing what's true, stop working with what's really working, and then they want to tell you because they are in the know, because they went to school, that they're going to give you a remedy or the antidote. But then the problem is they tell you, don't trust Dave. Don't listen to what Dave says. It'll get laughed out of court. And then at the very same time, these people have no solutions at all. They'll tell you just accept what's happening. This is the court we have. This is how it works. They'll say it's wrong, but this is how it works, and we just gotta accept it. Heck yeah, that cul-de-sac haircut. Junk can't grow right for nothing. Got more hair right here than I got everywhere. Just sad. So guys, tell me. Yes, a lot of attorneys are afraid to lose their bar card. Y'all should start saying, I mean, I know some of y'all might have feelings for certain people, and that's fine. But some of y'all should start saying, well, look, it might be a conflict of interest. Give up your bar card before you check Dave. Oh, yeah, I have been on Susan Sanbrino's show. We were supposed to show everybody proof of what I do. I've never been able to go through one complete affidavit. I've never been able to explain what I do through one complete thing. We did have me get to talk about it a little bit, and then other people jump in and get to say what they want. And we got to have a situation where Gail got to say it didn't work and this, that, even though she doesn't do it and doesn't know. And then I just went on my show and showed everybody real proof and real stuff and real people who will come on and tell. So anybody who does want to challenge, literally we have enough people. I could go half a year and just show people who had success with us, real life people with real life companies. And then I would ask you to return the favor. Go ask the attorneys, can they show how many kids they're getting home? Can they show how many businesses they helped that were losing everything during the time of the situation with COVID, right? I mean, if y'all gonna do it one way, let's do it both ways. Ask the attorneys if they got all these beliefs that stuff is not real, ask them where are the solutions that they got where they can show that Dave doesn't know. Because that means they would have done it already and they're good judges. So if you're a good judge of something, that means you probably know if it's being done right or not. But if you get a lot of money for what you do, y'all realize attorneys get paid a lot of money to hear cases, even if they lose. Y'all realize that, right? So if the attorneys have an election fight and they lose every single time, they still get paid $500, $1,000, $2,000 an hour. Still. Doesn't matter if they win or lose. And then you get people who get paid $0 to help you. $0 to help you, and they show you stuff in the law and say, look, this gives you the power, not the attorney. And then people want to judge it and test it. And my question is, what are they doing to be able to show people that they're worthy of testing? I don't want to know how much money you made. I don't want to know about your title. I want to know how many kids have you brought home if you worked in that system. If you're a business attorney, how many businesses did you open up and protect them from government intervention? Right? You should have a lot of testimonies if you're taking money from people. Now, if you're getting money from people, there should be, I ain't saying you're going to win every case, but you should have some testimonies of what you do. So now, hey, Ivan, are you in here and can you block people? Can everybody else hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. Ivan, let me know if you're in here and if you can block people. Me too. I don't think that we should be waiting on the Attorney General to investigate anything. We're the people. We control everything. I think we make a mistake because we keep letting everybody else control what we're going to do. We keep letting everybody else investigate and we won't investigate. I think that's a dumb situation. I think that the bar attorneys have tricked us into giving all of our authority and all of our power to other people. That's what I think. So I really don't give a darn what the Secretary of State does. I don't give a darn about what any of these people say or do. I don't give a darn about Joey Bribes and all them wanting to step in from the Fed. I don't give a darn. Some of the ballots could have been stolen last night, but I bet you it'd be hell to pay for it. I bet you it'd be hell to pay. And if they stole the ballots last night, they better have video. And they better know what truck came and picked all this stuff up. And they better have all the forklifts. They better have proof of everybody who was out there, or it's going to be beautiful. Yeah. And so, guys, you know, if there was a man and he had his wife next to him, and one guy walks up and says, "Hey, I'm going to rape your wife right here in front of you," and the guy has no gun, right? I think that any strong, real husband would beat the brakes off of the dude who's trying to rape his wife. I even know some strong men that if you even got a gun and you try to rape his wife in front of him, he's going to beat the brakes off of you with your gun, right? You can hold the gun. If you don't kill him, you're in trouble. So why is it? Wait, let me look at this. Constitutional attorneys seem to be low supply and very few trained or schools specifically at this moment in time. So we're under-equipped. Okay, let me ask you a question. I want you to think about that. Scott Johnson, UCF. Think about that. You said constitutional attorneys are very few. Now, that shows a very big problem with what's happening in America. Let's use our thought processes and figure out what you just said. You said constitutional attorneys, they're very few. Well, here's the problem. The Constitution is the highest law of the land, starting with the federal. The state is the highest law in the state. The attorneys say they are using law and they understand law. Yet you're telling me they're not equipped in the Constitution. How can an attorney who's supposed to know the law not know the Constitution, and we call them lawyers? Why does an attorney have to be a constitutional attorney to know what the Constitution says? If they are supposed to be using the law, everybody should be using the highest law, shouldn't they? What are we dealing with if they don't know the Constitution and that's what everybody swears to? How could it be that how is it that every single one of them is not a constitutional attorney? If you're teaching the law, hey, so Ivan, if you can cancel people right now, if somebody comes and says the sound sucks again or something, just please see if they're nice and I like them. If you see me show them love, give them a pass. If I don't know these people, toss them. All right. Let's see. So Scott said, I hear you. Another way we've empowered attorneys over us instead of empowering it. That's right. The people are the trust protectors, as Georg1A so graciously says. All the time. He's telling us the people are the trust protectors. It's your job to protect the trust. Right? Dave, God is smiling down on you. Hey, it's all God, bro. What you got to realize is that I went through suffering and pain. Suffering and pain is good, right? Just like when you work out. See? When you work out, suffering and pain makes you great. Suffering and pain is good food. Yep, a license to steal. That's right, Daniel. See, people get what they call this law license, but if you ever read a bar attorney's bar card, it's not a license. It is a card from a private association that has a president. The president is the one who's signing off on their card, not the Secretary of State. But suffering and pain is good for you. It makes you a freaking monster. It makes you great. It makes you strong. It makes you powerful. See, God lets you suffer through something. You say, God, please take the heat off. Please take off the heat. And God like, no, you ain't done yet. Right? But what y'all witness when y'all witness me is not me that you guys are seeing. You're seeing the process that God put me through when he wanted to give me more wisdom. It's the process he put me through for me to get more wisdom. So when you see me go against an attorney, the attorneys are never comfortable fighting me. And if they could kill me, I'm sure they would. They're never comfortable fighting me. They never want to go head up right away. And I tell them, I'm not going to freaking practice. I'm not going to prepare for you. I'm going to treat you like a high school test. I'll study and learn everything I'm going to learn. And then I'm not going to freaking go super crazy or go to class every day to hear the teacher talk about a million other things. I'm going to learn everything I need to learn and not waste my time. I'm going to make full use of my time at 2 or 3 in the morning. I'm going to be studying. And I'm going to know where you're going before you go. And then I'm going to come take the test. So God has let me go through the fire enough that I understand what these attorneys think because I didn't run from them. God let me know, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid, right? Now, I don't get afraid. I come at you 100% heads up, let's freaking roll. And I do that on purpose because I want everybody else that knows me and watches to see that if a nothing chocolate Negro from the ghetto like Dave can learn the law and be a beast against these people and have no fear, then you could do a million times better. I'm not the best, right? Y'all are going to be the best. Y'all going to pick this stuff up. You're going to add some of yourself into it like Sophia Zori does, right? Like Josh Barnett does, like Kandiss Taylor does. You guys are going to put it in yourself and make it even better. You're going to do what Matt DePerno did. He got the affidavit, looked at it, added some stuff to make it better. That's how you freaking win. You take knowledge and understanding and you add to it. You build, you grow, you become better. See, I learned stuff from Georg1A. I learned stuff from David Straight. I learned stuff from Rod Class. I learned stuff from other people. I don't hate on nobody. Excuse me. I don't hate on anybody. I learn from people. I understand. I take those things which are provable and I add them. And then I come with fire and smoke every day. And that's how you realize how you stand in your power. But it takes for you to suffer a little bit. It's hard when you got to stay up in the middle of the night and read constitutions when you want to do something else. It's hard when you want to go to a car show and you say, I'm going to drop it and I'm not going to have gratification right now because I got to fight. It's hard when you want to freaking eat. You want to get some food in your body. You want to freaking sit down and eat a good meal, but then you realize you got to stand and fight for the people. And people going to say dumb stuff. People going to talk about you. People going to hate on you. And you could be doing anything else in the world, but you're going to help people to see the truth, right? You're going to help people to see the truth. It's not the easiest thing, but it makes you better. So when the time comes that you have to fight any lawyer, any doctor, any so-called smart person, with simplicity, you can destroy them without even trying. And many of you guys know it's the truth. Josh Barnett will tell you, I'll go in front of any lawyer anytime. And it's not because I'm great, it's because God is great, because I'm using his knowledge and his wisdom. And this is why the government officials hate me who want to do wrong. The ones who want to do right love me. This is why the attorneys hate my guts, because I'll make them useless. I'll show y'all in front of people, in front of any attorney, what the law says, and we'll watch them sit there with deer in their headlights look, knowing they didn't know that. I'll ask them questions from time to time. I'll say, hey, has Title 42 ever passed? And you'll see them do this. Go ahead, tell me, what point you trying to make? They don't want to answer my freaking questions, but they want to ask me questions all day. Right? And all I'm doing is showing y'all the law and saying, now let's go get them. Let's go get them, boys. Show y'all the law and say, let's go get them. We're taking real action every single day. Right? We're helping people across the country every single day. Not by Dave, but by God. By God. By God and the power of his might. God is showing y'all a new love that he has for you. God is showing y'all that he don't want the deep state to just destroy you. He wants you to come to him and learn so he can mop the floor with him. Right? I've never been on Doug TeNaples' show, and I probably won't be on a lot of other shows right now. I think differently. I'm not an attorney, and I don't kiss anybody's butt, so you might not see me on a lot of shows, and I don't mind. We will continue to kick butt and make fire and teach the people who want to try. And if I never go on anybody else's show again, really doesn't matter to me. That smoke is going to be brought and people going to win. And here's the funny thing I always tell Josh. Money follows management. Even the highest paid people in the world, or people who got money out of nowhere, their parents gave it to them. Somebody died. They won a lottery. Money follows management. Smart people who want to make more money that don't know how to go to the people who can manage, right? Freedom and justice follow those who know how to bring forth freedom and justice. I don't give a freak what you say. The people want to know how Arizona got an audit. I don't give a freak what you say. The people want to know how businesses got open. I don't give a freak what you say. People want to know how kids came back home. So if you like me or not, if you want to deal with me or not, it doesn't matter. God will continue to bless me to be where I need to go. God will continue to allow the message to get out. And it doesn't matter if people want to be with me or without me. It doesn't matter if people like me or not. The Bible tells you that God's people perish for a lack of knowledge. So the real answer is the people are losing across the country because they don't have the knowledge. Now, God didn't say the knowledge was not available. God says because they reject it. And then he says, because you reject it, I'll reject you. So people can reject me all day. They can pick their friends. They can choose. They can like one group of people over another group of people. I don't give a freak because we're going to continue to win. And the funny thing is when you reject that which is true, what ends up happening is those things that are plaguing the nation come down your street. And then you want somebody to fix it. You're like, oh, call Dave and see if he'll fix it. Oh, call Dave now. That's how it works, right? When you want to save your state, call Dave, right? But you don't like Dave at other times. That's fine. Right? It's fine. So let me let y'all know. The people are winning. Notice that God has brought a mighty blessing through Kandiss Taylor. I think her and Josh going to go on live again and kick some more butt. Guys, right after Kandiss Taylor nails them, they're trying to run to save the ballots. Ring the alarm. Get the ballots. Hurry up. She's coming. They don't freaking want that smoke. I love you too, Diana Sharp. Guys, Dave's mission is massive victory in the name of Jesus Christ. That's my victory. That's my mission. My mission is to prepare the people to bring fire like the world has never seen by God. And it's happening. So it is what it is. Dave, stay off Nick Page. I think he is compromised from New Hampshire. I don't know. I can't say nothing about Nick. I don't know. I don't go on his videos anymore anyway. It's been a little while. So nobody can say, Dave, stay off. I'm not on. I just chill in the comments with the comment folk. And it's good, though. I have fun in the comments with the comment folk. The comment folk get to learn what really works. Now, I just like seeing stuff or whatever. You know, I like seeing what's going on. Yeah, once the people are educated, it's gonna be game over, y'all. The people bring fire. I've gotten threats for so long, I don't even trip over it no more. I don't give a freak about no dang threats. I had people in Detroit when I was younger tell me, oh, we're gonna blow your brains out, we're gonna kill you. I still go to school. I don't care. Like, that junk is weak. Listen, I'm gonna live as hard as I can live for as long as God lets me live. And I'm gonna be a freaking monster, right? Be a freaking monster. Freaking bring it. Heck yeah, it ain't no point in being pretty, Terry. You gotta be freaking rugged, down and dirty. Y'all talking about draining a swamp and people want to come around with suits on. People getting impressed about people's outfits. Oh, they're so pretty and cute and they went to school and look at what they say and blah, 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 blah. I can't find nothing in the law, but let's go. Get your freaking hands dirty. Put some freaking clothes on like the fight you freaking fighting. You better come like one of the regular people with some freaking regular old clothes on. Come with some jeans on. Get ready to get your knees dirty like you planting some freaking seeds. We planting seeds out here, y'all. We're planting seeds in the minds of the government officials who've been planning a swap. And we letting them know, I got to drop this seed in your mind. Now, if I touch you, you got some poop on you. You got some nastiness on you. You done some things wrong. But I got to show you the truth. So it's dirty where I'm at, y'all. Not everything gonna be perfect. I ain't gonna come in no freaking $1 million studio. I'm not gonna wait until I get everything I need to have in order for me to fight. I'm gonna freaking start the fight. Bring the freaking fire. Use what the freak God gives me and trust him in the process. I'm going to let God guide my steps. I'm going to let men close doors and watch God open. I don't give a freak what a man think he wants to do to me. He can only do what God allows. I'm not freaking worried. I'm here to bring freaking fire and help people see the truth and believe in what God gave them. Y'all get ready to get y'all hands dirty. Heck yeah, bring some freaking work boots. Bring some Timbos, right? Bring some cowboy boots. Bring some farm attire, because some of y'all gonna freaking take the freaking bales of hay and carry it across the way, and you're gonna get dusty, right? And you're gonna need your overalls on, because little sharp pieces of freaking hay gonna want to stick you or whatever. And you're gonna need some good denim to protect yourself. I'm telling y'all, you need to freaking be dressed for the freaking fight you're in. Stop freaking getting people who have lied to you for decades to try to tell you how to be free. It's not in them to do it. It's not in them to do it. And yes, we're going to deal with the airlines too. But y'all got to understand, God has made y'all to be freaking fighters. You notice that God gets a regular person like Kandiss Taylor to come with her southern drawl, you know, her accent, and just sound like this nice old lady that ain't going to freaking ever hurt a fly. But she come with more fire than any man I've ever seen in my freaking life in Georgia. She comes with freaking fire. And she freaking brings it. And I told y'all what was going to happen. Josh told y'all what was going to happen. It's funny. We're like, oh, yeah, they going to start messing up now. They going to get funny. Oh, I bet you they going to start reacting. I bet you they going to start moving. We already know that they had a meeting with some of the delegates already, some of the legislative body members. So people can say this don't work. Well, we've seen it work, and we've seen how it works, and we know how it works. And we're not stupid. We're not making up stuff along the way. We know exactly what we're doing and what it makes happen. So the thing is that Kandiss is having great results. People are starting to leave buildings open. They're like, how the freak do we get these ballots out of here? She coming. Dave cares you. We have questions for your mod, Ivan. And block serious people. Well, I don't know, Lisa Marco. Somebody probably pissed him off, but I trust him enough to believe that he got my back. So maybe you should want to ask him if somebody made a mistake. But I don't play that junk, and I roll with people who freaking serious. So I tell him, block any clown who does something stupid. Because she told him not to talk about poop. Ma'am, Lisa, like, he's a moderator. So please don't come on the page telling people what not to talk about. Because if Ivan wants to say something, he's going to say what he wants to say. And Ivan is the one who's stopping clowns from coming on here doing certain stuff. And people go on other shows where people cuss, people say whatever the freak they want to say, they do what they want to do or whatever, and nobody has nothing to say to them. So why come over here and trip on the admin? You know? Like, he makes sure that people don't interfere with what I'm doing. So if somebody starts to say the same thing over, they say something too silly, I tell him to block them. It's that serious. Here's the thing. I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to help people win. And when people do dumb stuff like continue to say the same thing over and over again, or stuff that's going to interfere with what it is that I'm doing or take my attention away when we're trying to fight, then what happens is I tell him, block him, right? And I trust his judgment. Now, I don't believe I'm going to make a time for people to slow down and talk to him and ask him questions like, you should be calling your legislature right now, sending them affidavits and answering them questions, because they're the ones who work for you. I don't think Ivan works for you, so I can't tell Ivan what to do. He's a grown man, number one. Number two, he's trying to stop people from causing issues on the video. So, you know, please don't do that, because I don't like to take a lot of time with dumb junk, and we're trying to win. We're trying to fight, you know? And my video isn't going to always be perfect, and stuff ain't going to be pretty. So I tell you, if you have to have things perfect, this is the wrong channel, because sometimes stuff going to happen and I'm not going to go crazy. Somebody asked, Dave, why can't we meet at Capitol in Arizona tomorrow with notaries to have affidavits made to decertify the election? We don't need proof. Please call Joe. And that's Joseph Snell. if that's one of the goals you have, you could do it. You know, I don't really meet a whole lot anywhere to do stuff that could be done online. Um, I don't really I don't really meet to do stuff that we could do real easy in one place. But if you want to meet, I say, you know, go ahead and do it. I don't have to decertify even an election. Like, I think that's where people mess up. I don't prove fraud in elections. I don't need to decertify an election, period, because the law tells me I can remove government at will and put in who we want. So if the law says that, thank you, Tara. If the law says, right? If the law says that I can remove government at will, why do I have to prove election fraud? That's the funny things that attorneys do. Attorneys are like, Dave, well, you say that you could do this or that. Well, just go ahead and this is what they say. Decertify. Go ahead and do this or that. I'm like, dude, I don't need to prove fraud. I don't need to decertify. The law says I can replace you at will. So if the law says I can replace you at will, why the freak do I need to even mention election? I could just say you're committing maladministration, which is what the notice and affidavit that Josh put in said, and the notice and affidavit that DePerno put in said, and the notice and affidavit that Kandiss put in said. So if we tell you ahead of time that is maladministration if you don't give us the audit, it's maladministration if you don't protect the ballots, then why do I need to prove anything? The law says I can remove you for maladministration. Look at Virginia Constitution, Bill of Rights, Section 3, I think it is. It says whenever a government goes against your happiness, safety, they get into the dangers of maladministration, it looks like they're about to start messing up, you can remove them. So why the freak do I need to force anything? Why do I have to prove anything? I just don't like you. You make me unhappy. So now you got to go, right? That's the difference between really understanding the Constitution and not. When we give you affidavits of maladministration and a whole bunch of notices, the very fact you didn't do what we said or you lose ballots means that you committed maladministration. Now we don't have to remove you for fraud. We can remove you for maladministration, which we told you already. If you lose the ballots, is maladministration. If they get caught on fire, if they should be happen to get hit by an airplane, if they should happen to get stolen and Epstein, doesn't matter. It's all maladministration. You know we got an issue. We want you to look at it. If you don't look at it in time and somebody burns it, somebody cooks it, somebody steals it, it's your anus, right? Much easier than proving fraud. So maladministration is a reason in the the Virginia Constitution, which applies to everybody as rights of the people in the Declaration or Bills of Rights. It clearly says you can remove any government for maladministration. Tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. Izzy Galilee. Go to Missouri Constitution. I think it's the third one in the Bill of Rights. Look at it for me real quick, Izzy. Leave here. Go copy and paste it. And where it says internal government. And I want you to come paste it back here so we can all see what do we do. Because see, here's another thing that happens when people don't know the law. They say this. How are you going to remove them? Are we going to use the police? See right here. Izzy just said it again. Practically how to remove. We or the police. So go to Missouri Constitution and let's see what your forefathers said. Missouri Constitution, third one. Tell me what it says. Post it right here for us. Grab that for me, Izzy. Now see, guys, this is what happened when we leave everybody to know the law for us and when we don't know the law. When we don't know the law, we start saying, who comes and saves us? Who's the savior? Right? I mean, we got to use this person to do it. The sheriff is one man. And it's funny that every time something happens, we go and say, well, how do we fix this? We got to get the attorneys, right? Is that in the Bill of Rights that you just got, or is it Amendment 3? Izzy, I want you to go to the Bill of Rights inside of the state called Missouri and get the third Bill of Rights. The third one. Please. I believe it's the third one. Can you grab that for us? Heck yeah, common sense conservative. Brilliance. See how easy it is when people read. Common sense conservative even made it even shorter than what it was and explained what freaking rights we have. Come on, y'all. What does Missouri number 3 say? Text of section 3. Because people say, do we get the police to do it? People don't even know the difference between the police and sheriff, really. But people keep asking, who do we get to do it? Okay, let me help you. Here it is right here. This is the Missouri Constitution, right? Missouri Constitution, notice I said Texas Section 3. It said nothing about the other stuff that Amendment 3. I said the Bill of Rights, Texas Section 3. Now let's see what the law clearly says. Texas Section 3. Power of the people over internal government, constitution, and form of government. Guys, first thing people say, sheriff is not the top cop. Sheriff is not a corporate officer. The sheriff is the officer of the people. The police officers are corporate policy enforcers. Yes, the sheriffs are corrupted in some states because the people didn't do what I'm about to show y'all right here. So what does this say right here, y'all? Right? What does that say? That the people of this state have the inherent, right? Inherent sole and exclusive right to regulate their internal government and the police thereof. Do y'all see that? It's a little shiny. I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me see. Let's see if I can get this to not light up so much. Let me see if I can get this clear. Okay, here we go. Do y'all see this? It said the people have the sole and exclusive right to regulate the internal government and police thereof. So guys, why does the law say we are supposed to be regulating the government, and the people who always say, are we supposed to get the police to remove them? It said regulate the internal government and the police thereof. So before you ask me if the police are the ones who should be getting it, first tell me if we should be the ones who are regulating the internal government. Now, if you haven't been regulating the internal government, then really we should not be talking about how we remove them when you didn't even regulate them. I mean, they have no problem regulating you, but the law says you're supposed to be regulating them. So my question for people who say, do we get the police to remove them? I want to ask you first, have you regulated the government to even teach the police that they're supposed to remove them? Have you regulated the police? Have you been doing that? If you are not regulating the government like we do with affidavits and notices, giving them notice of what their job is, showing them, holding them to it, then why are we even talking about the police? Because nobody's doing the first step. Very few, everybody wants to run to attorney and say, attorney, how do we fix this? And then you work on one little part of a case for yourself while everybody else is suffering and dying. Everybody else losing all their stuff and crying, losing their families, losing their houses, losing their kids. And we're sitting up here talking about how do we force them when you don't even teach them what to do? How do you expect them to do anything when they don't know they're doing wrong? You'll let the bar attorneys teach them. You'll pay the law attorneys to teach them, but you won't teach them. And guys, remember, the bar attorneys are not teaching people the state constitution. Name one. Name one bar attorney that's going around telling us the state constitution and how we can fight. Name one. Matter of fact, start typing in the comments. Name one bar attorney who's going around for free, giving up his time, teaching us the state constitutions. I'll wait. Name one. That's giving us remedy and teaching us the state constitution for free and building us up. Can y'all tell me some people who doing that as bar attorneys? That's right. People don't want to suck it up and put their get dirty clothes on. You got to put your get dirty clothes on and realize this is a fight. People say this, Dave, if you give them an affidavit and they don't listen to you the first time, what are you going to do? What about you give them an affidavit and start for the first time being what you're supposed to be and stop being a clown, right? You want to say, what happens if they don't listen? Listen, I don't go into a fight. I don't go into a fight and say, what happens if I punch this guy and he don't fall on the first hit? I'm going into a fight knowing it's a freaking fight. If they don't move, I'm going to continue to go. And the more that I go, the more that they hurt. And the more that they hurt and the more people seeing them hurt, the more the atmosphere changes and the more that they fall. It's crazy. What happens if you hit them with something and they don't kiss your butt? Are you serious right now? You ever been in a fight before? You fight to freaking win. You don't fight to play and investigate your punch to see how much you hit the heck out of a guy. He falls back like, woo! And then you don't say, okay, can you tell me on a scale of 1 to 10 how bad that hurts you and if you're about to give up in the fight? Did I hurt you so bad that you're going to go tell your mom and dad and you're going to call the police on me because I just freaking mollywopped you? Can we do a test and a study to see how well that punch worked? Maybe we should go get a computer and hook it up with some sensors on it to tell the G forces behind that punch to see what kind of damage it did to your internal organs. Really, dude? Is that how you fight? Maybe you're the type of fighter that don't need to be with us fighting, right? Because that's the thing, guys, is that you need to believe in your ability that God gave you. And God is giving y'all answers every day. Every single day. Izzy, so say they continue to ignore the affidavits. People don't usually ignore my affidavits. They might not be able to answer them. That's a lot different than ignoring them. They start doing stupid stuff like burning ballots or throwing them in the trash, getting caught, making mistakes, calling their attorneys. That's what usually happens. But I don't play the game, let's say if, because that's not action. If is what people use when they don't want to take action. See, I could say, what if you're really going to try? I don't know if you're going to try, so I don't spend my time worried about if you try or not. I just roll with people who try. I roll with people who take action. I don't live my life like, what if I send them this notice and they don't listen? What if I send them notice and it doesn't work? I didn't see David say anywhere when he was fighting Goliath, what if I sling this freaking stone at him fast as heck like I've been practicing and smack him in the middle of the forehead with it and it doesn't hurt him? It's funny, y'all can see people in France protesting against the government and they don't even know the law like us. And then we're learning the law. And we're talking about some what if they don't listen? What if I owned a business and somebody was in my business and didn't listen? Well, I'm going to come tell them what's up and let them see in front of everybody. And I'm going to make an example out of them. And the next person ain't going to be so stupid. But because you believe that somehow, because somebody has an office or the name official, that they got some power over you or they're greater than you as a man or a woman. So you say, what if? Oh, okay, so I'll put it to you like this. It's like saying this. What if somebody was trying to rape your wife and you threw a punch and it didn't hurt them enough? I guess she's in trouble, huh? Right? That's how we look at it. Come on, y'all. Come on. That don't make sense. Right? What if, let's deal with real life. What if your wife wants to be pleased by you, but your stuff don't work? We got a whole market for Viagra and natural stuff and all this, right? So when it comes to your sex life, you do whatever you can do. You do whatever you can do in your sex life to be able to be better? Right? What if your heart ain't working good and you take a heart pill and it don't work the best the first day? Is that even really a question? Maybe you take it the second day, maybe the third day, maybe the fourth day. Maybe you continue to fight. Ain't that how it works? What if your car flies off the road and your baby is in there and it's in water and you try to hit the window with your hand and it doesn't break the first time? Whew, I hate to be your baby. Because the way some of y'all think, what if I hit the window and it don't break the first time and I want to save my baby, but my baby can drown in water? Are you serious? What about bloody your freaking hand up, break your freaking elbow, break your freaking foot and your leg for your baby? What about that? What about be smart enough to look around for something that you can hit it with? You know, like those branches that fly by when there's a flood and you see the tree branch. Oh, shucks. Pick the freaking thing up and run it into the window. What about that? What about that? Why is it always? Oh, well, what if that doesn't work? What if that doesn't work? What? Have confidence in what the law says. Your forefathers who beat the king could have said, what if we fight the king and we don't beat him on the first day? What the freak did they do? They fought the king and won. Stop living life like a loser. A loser says, what if I lose? A winner says, God is with me. Who could freaking be against me? Who can be against me if God is for me? That's what a winner says. See, we have lost faith and we have no trust in God no more. That's right, Terry. Freaking be in the game. Freaking be getting your workout on. Freaking doing everything to make it right. Come on now. Talk about some dang solutions. Guys, you understand that God has put us together for a time such as this. Quit freaking doubting. Quit doubting the abilities that God gave you. See, I've suffered losing my little guys. People say, Dave, why didn't you get your little guys back yet? Well, I got a whole bunch of other people's back. It's apparent that God wants me to whoop butt with this selection situation, and we're doing it. So I didn't get them back because it wasn't in God's timing. And that makes you a bad mama jamma when God makes you hungry, makes you learn, and make you fight so he could use you. So the reason I don't get stuff the way I want to, because God's timing is based on his wisdom and his knowledge and his understanding. And the people be free. It ain't just about Dave, it's about everybody. And we all gonna come together and have victory. Now, some people gonna be sorry and stay at home and doubt. I don't give a freak who doubts. I don't give a freak who helps. I don't give a freak who loves me. I don't give a freak who wants to go into battle with me. God will be victorious. God will prevail. God has prepared me, and he's gonna bring the people who necessary. Everybody else who don't want to go hang out at home. Go eat some bonbons, right? Go watch a football game. Go play. Go bowl. Go fish. Do whatever the freak you want to do. But God is with us, and we're going to win, and we don't need everybody to be with us. See, people keep saying, Dave, you know, everybody needs to stick together. We need a lot of people to beat these clowns. No, a couple of us go against 70 attorneys, and it's cute. It's beautiful. Attorneys come after us and we laugh at them, eat them up in our sleep. We freaking working out, answering their questions and clowning them at the same time. You know, we ain't even really trying for real. So I'm letting y'all know that God is more than good and capable of bringing victory to one person against a million. I don't want to hear that bull crap about what if somebody's stronger than God. I don't want to hear that bull crap. But God says magnify his name. Magnify his works. Tell the people what God has done. God has delivered me. God has built me up. My enemy wanted to destroy me. Told people they were going to kill me, and God don't let it happen. Freaking follow after me. Come after me with guns. Try to set me up. Do a hit, and it don't work. Don't tell me what God can't do. Don't tell me what God can't do. God is a winner. God is a winner. And the thing is that don't worry about your enemies. Don't worry about the people who hate on you. Because God is a mighty deliverer and he'll knock down your enemies right in front of your face. Those who try to hurt you, God will step in. This is how real life works when you have faith. See, the just gonna walk by faith. Others gonna walk by sight. Well, what if it looked like they ain't doing nothing? It looked like they going to get them ballots to me. It looked like Kandiss came out and dropped that smoke on their head. And it looked like they trying to secure some ballots right now because they know they're in trouble. That's what it looked like to me. I don't give a freak about what somebody says it looks like. They not trying to get them dang things out that building for nothing. That's what I know. But that's already been covered though. That's right. God is bigger. My God is bigger than those problems that you suffer through. We are more than conquerors through Christ Jesus. What's too hard for God? Nothing. And that's the thing. Some of the people can't get remedy because they don't believe. They don't believe. They don't believe in what God said. They don't believe God is true. So I feel sorry for you because you live your life on what if. I feel sorry if I had to be your wife, right? Not me, but your wife. I feel sorry if you think that you can't do anything and you got to protect her. I feel sorry if your baby is inside of a freaking flood waters and you got to get the door open to save your baby. I feel sorry because you would be trying to figure out what to do the whole time and not taking action. I ain't gonna live like that. I ain't gonna live like that. I'm gonna trust God. I'm gonna take action. I'm gonna give notice like the law tells me to. I'm gonna listen to those forefathers who already defeated the king. I can't believe we're here hundreds of years later and we're still asking if what the forefathers did to beat the king would actually, if it actually worked. That junk is hilarious. But Dave, I know that you say that it's possibly possible, but can you prove to us that it can really happen? Yeah, I can prove to you it can really happen. Do it. Do it so we can have some freaking proof. There's hundreds of people around the country who did stuff with us and got proof. And other people still asking for truth. Do something then. If you want to see some proof. God is good. He's working. Kandiss ain't got 3,000 subscribers yet. Kandiss put up her dang video 20 some hours ago, a day ago. And already she got 22,000 views. It's going crazy on YouTube, on Facebook, all over the place. People screen sharing it. This junk is freaking fire. We freaking winning. I don't know about everybody else, but we winning like a mud. So I'm thankful. I'm happy. We've been talking for an hour and 33 minutes. I still got to do the show with Jonah. Anybody who gets on JonahBay.com, get that Save the Nation webinar. We'll do some talking in there. I'll break down some law to y'all, show y'all some stuff, show y'all why we lose as a nation, show y'all what they're doing to make us lose, show y'all actual stuff from the Bible, from the law to help you win. From the law. Show you what you deserve so you can be able to fight all these different traps they're trying to get us in. Now, guys, I'm letting you know. We're going to bring that fire today. Anybody who gets in who got these medical freedom issues over vaccines, masks, and all this stuff, you will get free access to my PMA for medical freedom today. We'll also give you a lot of other stuff. And we got some other smoke that I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it's a very good gift. Very good. Very, very, very powerful gift that will help you to really, really, really fight. So I would love to see a lot of y'all on there. That would be so cool because I like seeing names I know and people that I know, people that I care about. And I like to see you guys that fight and you stand and you show your strength and the love you have for the people. I had to lose my little guys to be able to learn this. God told him your army is too big. You need to trim that down. That's right. When you got too many people aside of you and it's looking like they're the ones who's bringing the victory and not God, God will start sending people home. So just understand certain things going to happen where people ain't going to want to deal with me no more. People going to be mad and they think, oh, well, we just don't like Dave because we heard. Or we just don't like that he fights and he talks junk to the people we respect. Or, you know, he don't have a filter. No, dude. I will love you and respect you, but when somebody comes with some bull that's hurting the people and they're trying to come with a different type of freaking teaching, then I'm going to freaking call it where it is. I don't give a freak if you love them. I don't give a freak if it's your mama, your daddy. I don't give a freak. You're not going to hurt the people. That day is over with. It's finished. Just like Josh Barnett always tells y'all, those days are done where they're going to just do whatever the freak they want to do. They might do it in another country. They might go over to D.C. in that foreign land and play over there in 10 square miles. Don't bring that junk over here no more. We don't want it, right? So I'm going to bring the truth. You don't bring other states' constitutions. You're bringing their bills and declarations of rights. The actual frame of the Constitution tells how they line up their government in the state. Your bills and declarations are right are the your bills and declarations of rights are actually the rights that are common to all man. That's common law. So if I say the people are equally free and independent by nature, that's the same in Arizona, Michigan, Georgia, it doesn't matter. If I say you have a right to trial by jury in a republic, that's the same in any of the 50 states. If I say they can't take anything from you without a warrant, that's the same in all 50 states. If I say that you have a right to privacy, that's the same in all 50 states. If I say that the government can't write any laws against your bills or declarations of rights, that is the same in all 50 states. So that's what I'm saying, and I hope you guys can understand it. But anyway, I want to thank you guys for coming on. You guys are the bomb. I love y'all. I got to have church service today. I also got to do the webinar. The webinar is not free. It's a membership. I'm sorry, on Georg1A's, that's on his site. So it's a $200 program or whatever, $200 seminar, webinar. And this is the second one I've done with Georg1A. And like I said, anybody who wants to get in, you can. Peace, Stacy. Love the heck out of you. Anybody who wants to get on, you can. It's definitely not a demand. If you come, you do. If you don't, you don't. You learn, you do. You don't, you don't. It's no big deal with me. I do a lot of stuff where I teach people at no cost online. This is just for people who want to fight right now, who want to win in different areas right now and shut this junk down that's being done wrong. So anyway, I'm going to catch you guys later. Y'all stay out of trouble. Y'all be cool. Peace, love, and chicken grease. All right, y'all. Stay out of trouble. Be cool. I love y'all. You see how to turn this freaking thing off. Y'all be cool. Peace.